Hey everybody, Rachel Mikolov here from Empire Tax Professionals. I'm the CEO of Empire Tax Professionals, and I'm also a licensed enrolled agent. And today I want to go over a specific tax deduction that a lot of business owners are always asking us, questions, and they're always confused about this specific topic. And today we will go over home office tax deductions. So we're going to go over what they are, what you need to know, and how you can specifically deduct the home office deduction in your business. So I figured now would be the perfect time for us to speak about this because there's so many business owners that are, working from home due to the pandemic, and there's so many things that are changing. So a lot of business owners are actually working from home. Here's how you can make working from home work for you. So by the way, if you have any specific questions, let me know what your questions are. Again, I'm licensed by the IRS. There are a lot of tax professionals on Facebook that are not really licensed and that are giving bad tax advice. So here, my goal is to give a lot of business owners solid tax advice so you can, deduct your expenses legally, pay less taxes, and make sure that you are 100% compliant with the IRS in your state. So here's one question that a client recently asked us, or some prospect actually. If you have an office outside of your personal home, say downtown, can you have a tax deductible office in your home for the same trade of business? So for example, if it's a restaurant owner or if it's a doctor, for example, he's asking if you can deduct your home office. And the answer is yes, you can deduct your home office. And this is how you're able to deduct it. So there are two specific qualifications that you need to know in order for you to deduct your home office. One is, and I'll be very specific and I want to make sure that I'm quoting the law. That's why I'm looking at my notes. So your home office will qualify as your principal place of business if you meet the following requirements. One, you use it exclusively and regularly for administrative or management activities for your trade or business. Now you may be asking me, what does that mean? So you need to be using your home office exclusively for your business. So for example, exclusively for like administrative work. For example, bookkeeping, if you're going to be doing bookkeeping, if you're a restaurant owner, if you're a doctor, or if you have an outside location, such as let's say, a law office, for example, you have a physical location. Other business owners want to know if they can deduct their home office. So the way you can do that is if you do your bookkeeping, or if you, do record keeping, like you give your bookkeeping information to your accountant, or you answer emails from home, you review patient records, you order things like for your restaurant, vendors, you purchase supplies, things like that. You schedule calls, you just review your work. There's so many things that a business owner really needs to do in order for them to run a business. People think, serving dinners and serving, that's like partially, but a lot goes on in like behind the scenes, writing your goals, reviewing what you need to be doing. So the main administrative work must be done from home in order for you to deduct the home office deduction, okay? The other thing is, the second rule is, the IRS says you have no other fixed location where you can do substantial administrative or management activities of your trade or business. So that means that almost all of substantial, so most of your work, your admin work, your bookkeeping, your record keeping, your calls must be done in your home office in order for you to take that deduction. So you can't have another administrative office outside of your home office because now you're not really using your home office substantially, and it has to be used regularly for your business so you can, legally deduct it. Now, the IRS says that it has to be exclusive for your business. So that means you can't have like partially, a piano there, or you can't store your kids' bikes. You can't have, your kids' toys in your home office. It really has to be strictly for your business. And you have to have a computer, you have to have, pens and papers. You can't do partially, you can't use it partially for personal and partially for business. The home office must be 100% used for your business, okay? So the administrative office is a principal office. Now, again, it has to be your main administrative office in order for you to deduct it. You must use the office exclusively for your business. Again, I just want to reiterate and make sure, because there are a lot of, red flags with this, and sometimes the IRS may even want to come and to your home office and see how you're used. Years ago, I went to a tax conference, and somebody mentioned how the IRS came into the home office and he saw a piano or like a couch on the other side of the office. And the IRS said, okay, this is not 100% used for business. This is partially used for personal, and now you can't deduct it. So, be really careful as to, how you're using the home office, and make sure that it's 100% used for business. And I mean, you could even have a TV there if you're using it for coaching or marketing purposes. But if you're having your kids watch like TV and things like that, the IRS will 100% disallow your expenses, okay? Disallow the home office. And this is a really pretty big deduction. Everybody really wants to save money on taxes. Nobody wants to overpay. But if you do it the right way, you can 100% be compliant. Okay. Now, a lot of people are asking us, Rachel, how do we calculate the home office deduction? So let's be really, let's just use round numbers, for example. So let's say your home office is your entire home actually is 1,000 square feet. Your home office is about 100 square feet. So your home office, the percentage is 10% of your entire home, right? So now 10% is your actual deduction that you are able to deduct. You are able to deduct 10% of your overhead expenses, such as your utilities, your internet, your garbage. Let's say if you have garbage removals, if you have maintenance costs, if you have a cleaning lady, let's say 10% of your home office, like your overall expenses. So 10% of your overall expenses can be deducted. So you could lower your taxable liability. Now, if you have a much bigger home office, then it would be a much bigger deduction. But that's the way you normally calculate your specific portion of how much you can deduct for your own home office, okay? Now, I also want to be clear that this only applies if you're a sole proprietor and if you're a partnership. So you're a sole proprietor or a single member LLC, and you're not taxed as an S Corp, this only applies to you. If you are in the S Corp, there's something called an accountable plan where you have to have reimbursements going from the S Corp to your personal, and then I could speak about later. But this is mainly for like small business owners making about, let's say, up to $100,000, and they're not really incorporated as an S Corp yet, and they're a sole proprietor, single member LLC, or a multi-member LLC, which is a partnership. So be really careful how you use the law that I'm mentioning here and how you're using the home office deduction based on your specific entity. There are different rules based on the entity that you are. So the other thing that I want to mention is people are asking me, like, what publication, where can they find more information? You could definitely contact us if you have any specific questions, but I also wanted to inform everybody the IRS publication here. The publication is 587. You could just Google IRS publication 587, and you can look at the specific rules and the IRS publication. It literally states everything. Who qualifies, how do you qualify, what specific is deductible, and so much more. You can find a lot of information on there. Then the other thing is, I want to mention, so you could have more than one business location and deduct the home office. There's so many business owners that are asking us, oh, but I can't have more than one office. You definitely can. Because people are just confused, I guess, and they don't know the rules and the laws. But I'm telling you 100%, especially like for e-commerce sellers, for example, you can have a specific warehouse and you could do a lot of the ordering and the contacting the accountant and record keeping and purchasing inventory, or even like reviewing and making sure that everything is ordered. There's so much that needs to be done in the business world for administrative work, and you could definitely do that working from home. Now, the IRS also says that it must be used regularly, and that may mean a few hours a day. At least at a minimum, it has to be done once a week. And honestly, as CEOs, we really need to be checking our numbers every single week to really see what comes in and what goes out. if you don't do that at least on a weekly basis, or if you don't look at your expenses or looking at your bank statements, your credit card statements, then there's so many leaks in your financials that you may not even know about. I personally look at my financials every single week, every single month, and I cancel subscriptions that no longer serve me. And I actually did that last week. Really didn't save much. I saved about $500 on some like software that we no longer need, that we forgot, that we replaced with something else. And sometimes as business owners, we get so busy that we don't remember what we're purchasing because we're always on the go. But when you look at your bank account and credit card account in your credit cards, you're able to see, oh, I purchased this software, this replaces that, I forgot to cancel it. You go and cancel it, and then they no longer charge you. If you have any other questions, let me know what your questions are. Make sure that you're properly deducting the home office deduction, especially if you're working from home. This is actually perfect for coaches, consultants, course creators, e-commerce sellers. There's so many Amazon sellers that are selling from home. And you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to legally deduct everything possible so you can pay the least amount of taxes legally. If only you guys would know how many clients we see that overpay in taxes. It's like a free donation to the government. And it's only because they don't have proper accountants, they don't have proper guidance, there's no advice, nobody knows the difference between an LLC or an S Corp, and a lot of business owners, they just go online, they figure out, oh, I think I should be an LLC. They apply online on their own, but they don't know the difference, and that's where guidance is lacking. And because there's lack of guidance, only because of that, a lot of people, and most of that, that's one of the main reasons why people overpay in taxes, plus because they don't do their books, they don't see what they can legally deduct, etc. So again, if you have any specific questions, let me know what your questions are, and I will for sure help you and answer all of your questions. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day. Bye.